I thought this is absolutely brilliant. It took you on a sort of a journey which I don't really understand yet after one listen, but I felt it rather than understood it. I
Yeah,
thought it
that's
was
what
really
matters.
emotional, beautifully crafted. Um, Musically, it was superb as well. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Audiophiles. My name is John. His name is Andy. She's flying in the face of fashion now, seems to have a will of her own. She's flying in the face of fashion, yeah, seems to have it all chromed. More on that later. But first, we have a track to listen to, selected by Andy. Andy, what have you got for us today?
We're going to be checking out an act called Racing Mount Pleasant, and it is going to be a track by them called Your New Place that I'm going to have you check out. So, I'm really interested to hear what you have to say about listening experience. So, please go off and check out Racing Mount. I guess before you do that, no, you're not familiar with these guys at all, are you?
I believe so, no.
Okay, cool. Even better. Well, then please go give them a listen and come back and let us all know what you think.
Will do. 24 seconds in. I really like it already. It's got loads of, it's like, feels weighty with potential. That lovely reedy sound from a woodwind. There's a guitar jangles matching it. Um, Straight away, it just makes me think of Black Country New Road. We shall see. It was very thoughtful.
It's a mess. Drumming.
Sorry but that was just really interesting there. He said it's a mess, but the way he just threw it in, it didn't have any artifice to it. There was a bit of underneath there, the way he delivered it. Was it exhaustion or something like that? But I just believe straight away that it is a mess.
It's a mess. Drumming quarter me spent all November in bed. Sorry you can rest. I'm a mess. Light flows through the room, bends all around you while you undress. Show me your best dress.
I love how he does that there. It's the second time he's done it. I was sorry, you can rest and show me your best dress. The way he does it in this sort of sing-song writing way, it's almost like he's addressing a child. And there's a different ways you could show me your best dress. Could be something you say to a little child as well. Um, I'm presuming the subject is a woman that he's probably in a relationship, the singer, the narrator's in a relationship with, but try not to presume anything. But really, god damn, it sounds beautiful.
As I lie, and I, 'cause 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 I, forget what it means to feel you.
Oh, that's so good.
You're the edge of all I know.
So I guess at some point the full band, as it were, would come in. But the way it came in there, it wasn't like this big explosion or triumphant. It was almost like a parade. There was bits joining in. Those horns punching away were just fantastic. And the strings, and from earlier, before the rest of it arrived, the strings, beautiful. And they fully carried this sort of incumbent emotional weight that you assume would be with them, which really was there. This is just so well judged, almost every sort of note. There's a little bit there before he just starts singing again that almost remind me a little bit of Squid in a way as well, which is a very good thing. This sounds superb. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the sort of windmill scene, but I've never heard of these guys, so who knows?
At least that's what you said. On the 34th floor, your new place. What a wonderful space.
Conversation.
I like what you do with the built-in. To hold your videotapes. Your new place. My God, you've got excellent taste.
Rising hopeful optimism.
You're Harris Coward. Harris Coward.
That sounds like Squid.
Nobody
Wow. That very last section was the most sort of normalized post rock, that lovely drum beat. And the horns are matching the guitars, this rising motif. And it's almost like they were climbing up and then just fell off a cliff at the end. Really thought provoking. I love this. Absolutely adored it. And I didn't take a tenth in of what was going on. So I'm gonna have to listen to this again. Scribble down some notes, which I need to make sense of. But yeah, this is a lovely combination of sort of folky sentiments with really nice storytelling, which I didn't get a jot of, and I will come back to, but those bits and pieces, um, jazzy elements to it, and then this post rock and this sort of windmill scene vibe to it. There were bits towards the end where there's multiple vocal parts coming in. Um, that was the bit which sounded most American. The rest of it sound very British influenced. I don't know if it's both in between, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, fascinating, completely involving. Yeah, I loved it. So I need to find out about these guys. Um, let's go back, and I can't wait to speak to Andy about it. Really can't.
All right, John. So you've listened to Your New Place. You're back in your old place now. What did you make of this track, my friend?
Okay, so it starts with a sort of pensive, reedy preamble from a woodwind, shadowed by these chiming notes, which I guess are from a guitar. Um, and pretty quickly, I think of Black Country New Road. It just reminds me straight away. Um, even the thumbnail, actually. I've got my vinyl version of their album is like the polarized image, so it's been reversed and white is black, and there's a bit of that going on with this thumbnail as well.
Mm.
So this seems full of potential within the first dozen or so seconds. The singer then comes in, and the first words are almost thrown away. It's a mess in such a manner which makes it believable instantly. There's something behind the words. I don't know if it's exhaustion or whatever it is, but there's no drama to it. It's just, yeah. And also behind the music, there are these long, sustained notes. They're like clouds in a giant oil painting. So it's a really good start. The next few lines are delivered in a more sort of new folk voice, I would say, which meanders through the lines, um, sort of pausing and skipping emphasis and sort of scanning through different bits. Again, really thoughtful, but you can tell that there are other emotions sort of bubbling away underneath. He says, "Draw me and quarter me," um, which is interesting as well, whether that means the sort of well, draw me can mean two things, but quarter me pretty much means one thing.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of the horrendous part of the medieval execution that was used, particularly in this country. He spent all November in bed. Sorry, you can rest. That line is delivered in this rising sing-song voice, as if they were addressing a child. And then he confirms, "I'm a mess." So whatever the situation we stumbled across has clearly taken a toll on the narrator. And this kind of draws me in. It feels like great storytelling. He sings about the light flowing and bending in the room, and then he addresses the subject. I'm presuming it's as a woman in a dress, and probably someone that he's got a relationship with. But he addresses the subject in the same sing-song manner. Show me your best dress, um, which is a kind of thing you would say to a child as well. You're in your best dress and that sort of thing, but also, to the whatever situation this is. In come the strings, and also I can hear the bass more clearly. And they both have all the incumbent emotional weight that these instruments traditionally carry. As he sings, it feels like the words are almost just falling out of his mouth, and he gets to "You're the edge of all I know," and then in comes the rest of the band with impacts, but it's not a explosion of sound. It's more like a parade. We get different elements joining, swirling drums. It does feel like a paradey sort of drums marching. These punchy horns and those beautiful strings. His voice sounds more conversational now, and there's this percussive like clattering going on behind as he sings. And to be honest with you, I'm enjoying the music so much, I do miss a few lines, and I catch something about on the 34th floor of your new place, which the title makes sense. Here, joining the beautiful string line in steps with some propulsion with the drums and the horns. It feels like unfurling as he just sings "What a Wonderful Space." And it really is conversational, as he mentioned something about refitting some unit or something to hold videotapes, and it complements the subject's taste as well. There's this quite charming sort of element to the sort of mundaneness of the comments here. It's not so I've heard a really meaningful song today where they talked about how these units hold this person's videotapes really well. It's not the sort of thing you would normally relate, but it has this sort of innate charm of this minutiae, which is all part and parcel of a relationship. At the end of this verse, we enter a musical interlude, which more than smacks of another band, Squid. So naturally, I adore this. It's a great combination of jazz and post rock and this sort of chamber pop rock as well. And it all sounds like bands that emerged from the windmill scene that we've spoken about. Although I haven't heard of this band, so I think it's just similarities as well. But I don't think they came from that particular venue in Brixton. It sings on "Nobody wants to be the last inside. Nobody wanted to be choked by time." He also sings how lucky he is to be part of the subject's life. And it really does feel heartfelt as his voice gets fuller and more earnest as he sings this. Well, here we all are on top of it all. Your hands in mine, my heart in yours on top of it all. And the horns sort of weave in and out of the vocal melodies. He sings this, and it really is the tipping point emotionally of this song. And then this gentle tapping rather than a pounding of the bass drum, muffled bass drum, sort of brings everything back down to a pause. The guitar starts playing a phrase and sort of circularly goes in on itself, and then the tempo rises as the horns come back in. And at that real point just there where the guitar's playing and the horns come back in is the most Squid the whole song sounds at that point. It's really great. All the while the bass is doing this incredible sort of walkabout up and down the garden path. It sounds fantastic. Just as it then starts to feel there's some almost sort of triumphant horns going off at one point. It starts to sound a little almost Beatlesque, sort of Penny Lane in a strange town doing a bus stop tour. And then it just suddenly completely rose back to the guitar on its own once again. And then it kicks back in with these lovely drums. And it sounds the most post-rock normal of the whole song at this point. There's lovely sort of strident chords, and the horns start following these rising notes from the guitar. And it's like they're stepping up and then again stepping up and then stepping up, and then the whole thing falls off a cliff. Just this immediate full stop. So yeah, I love this. I think I probably only took in about 10% of what was going on. I need to listen to it many more times. As soon confession time here. As soon as I finished, I thought quickly, what I'll do is I'll download the album and I can dip in it. Andy may give me some more tracks off this, but that would be ready for me to listen to. And and I renamed the folder and it says, you already got a folder called this. And I looked and I downloaded the album in December last year and I've never listened to it.
Fuck
And
me.
it's been sitting
Oh,
there all the time. So I
John.
don't even remember the name. I don't know why I did it or whatever.
Uh,
But it's been sitting there since December and I've never even listened to it. This is
That's
fucking
hilarious.
brilliant. So
Yeah,
that's hilarious, you know.
yeah.
And I'd also like to say, if you wanted to have proof that my choice for records for your songs are random, there is the proof. Public Enemy, how suitable to a track like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, I thought this is absolutely brilliant. It took you on a sort of a journey which I don't really understand yet after one listen, but I felt it rather than understood it. I
Yeah,
thought it
that's
was
what
really
matters.
emotional, beautifully crafted. Um, Musically, it was superb as well. And I suspect, I know there's a lot more to be got out of this song than just from my first listen. I thought, yeah, it's wonderful.
Awesome. I'm really glad you liked it. I thought you would. It's got a lot of I mean, but Black Country New Road. There's ties to that this post rock kind of sound with a dash of art rock, and then the instrumentation. I knew it was all going to be things that checked a lot of boxes for old John. Go on, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to say. I said this in the video, but I didn't write it in my notes. There's a bit three-quarters of the way where the group vocals come in, and that is the part which sounds, again, I can't qualify this for any reason. But for me, that's the part that sounds the most American. But a lot of this song sounds very British
Mm,
influenced. And I don't know if it's one or the other or both or neither. It might be some amazing post-rock band from Finland. Um, I don't know, but it's a lot of it sounded very British influence from those bands that we mentioned.
yeah, yeah, interesting. And probably a fair point there. I'm sure there is some influence from over there that has, been injected into their sound,
Yeah.
whilst they still are bringing some very American, qualities to their music as well. So yeah, it's so stoked that you like this, John. It's hard not to, and I think like you and I have often referenced our Venn diagram. There is the John side, the Andy side, and then there is seemingly a growing bit of real estate where they overlap. And I think that a couple of songs that we've done, of late for sure, certainly, but plenty on this channel kind of fit in that area. And I thought this for sure would be one of them. So I'm really, really glad you liked it. Racing Mount Pleasant was formerly known as Kingfisher. So I don't know if you've ever heard that name before, and it's okay if you haven't. They're a pretty niche band, but they were from the Midwest, and Kingfisher is how they started, and they then changed their name to Racing Mount Pleasant. They are an indie rock band, post rock band, from Ann Arbor, Michigan. So more of that Midwest, sentiment in their sound. In 2025, as I mentioned, they changed their name to Racing Mount Pleasant and released a self-titled album. Their musical style has been compared to bands such as Bon Iver, Lord Huron, more on them in the future. I've got something on deck for you in the not too distant future from them, and Black Country New Road and Explosions in the Sky. Are you familiar with Explosions in the Sky? Okay, yeah, I thought you probably would be. Their musical style has been variously described as indie folk, chamber pop, Midwest emo, and garage rock, actually. According to Arts Around Ann Arbor, their sound combines the intimacy of folk music, the dynamics of shoegaze, the detail of electronica, and the arrangements of jazz and classical crossovers. The band formed in 2019 after future band members Callum Roberts, Connor Hoyt, and Sam DuBose discussed forming a band within minutes of meeting each other. The band released their debut album, Grip Your Fist, I'm Heaven Bound, on November 11th, 2022. The Michigan Daily described it as outstanding and a remarkably mature album. I mean, especially given these guys are really young doing this whole thing. So at the time, the band was composed of 8 musicians, as well as 2 visual artists and 2 photographers. All 12 members were students at the University of Michigan. By June 2023, the band had become a 7 piece, plus 3 visual artists. The band's current lineup consists of Sam DuBose, vocals and guitar, Callum Roberts, trumpet, guitar, Connor Hoyt, alto saxophone, Samuel Uribe Botero, tenor saxophone, Kason Chone, strings guitar and guitar, Tyler Venstedt, bass and vocals, and Casey Cheatham, drums and vocals. On April 9th of 2025, the band changed their name to Kingfisher to Racing Mount Pleasant, as I mentioned, and the inspiration for that name change was a highway exit near Chicago that read Racine Mount Pleasant, Racine, which is I think a town or a small city. So this refers to Racine, Wisconsin, and Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. So Racine, Mount Pleasant. On the same day as the name change, they also released their single Call It Easy. On May 9th, they released their self titled single Racing Mount Pleasant, written before the band's name change, and announced their first album under their new name to be released on the record label R&R. They released the single Your New Place on July 11th, also announcing that the album would be self titled and released on August 15th. Racing Mount Pleasant's second album, Racing Mount Pleasant, was released on August 15th, 2025, as scheduled. It was recorded over the course of 3 years in more than 6 different spaces and studios. God, 7 members, 6 different spaces and studios. That's a lot of ground to cover by a lot of people. The band stated that they had 5 more songs already written by the time the album was released, and that they aimed to write a movie soundtrack in the future. The band's live shows are often bespoke to each venue, using projectors synced to the music and sometimes telling the audience to sit instead of stand in order to command attention in a way that doesn't ask for much. Their performances have been praised for their intimacy, immersion, and detail. And last year, they opened a concert for Cameron Winter and opened for Geese for select shows on their Getting Killed tour. Now, let's jump into these lyrics for a moment before I cite some interesting observations and articles related to the band, the album, and this track. It's a mess. Draw me and quarter me. You spent all November in bed. Sorry, you can rest. I'm a mess. Lights flow through the room, bends all around you while you undress. Show me your best dress. As I lie and I try to forget what it means to feel you, you're the edge of all I know. A high risk, high reward. At least that's what you said on the 34th floor of your new place. What a wonderful space. I like what you did with the built-in to hold your videotapes in your new place. My God, you've got excellent taste. You're a high risk, high reward, a high risk, high reward. Nobody wanted to be the last inside. Nobody wanted to be choked by time. How lucky I am to be a piece of your life. How lucky I am to be a piece of your smile. Well, here we are, on top of it all. Your hands in mine, my heart in yours, on top of it all. So Kyle Koner of Northern Transmission penned an article reviewing this album and wrote the following. At first blush, one might call this record progressive folk or post-rock with a more palatable indie rock bend. But focusing on genre and who or what they sound like is really besides the point here. Racing Mount Pleasant make music that inhales, exhales, and stretches toward what the light has in store for the day. From the inside out, they build songs, starting with a single mood, a single instrument, a single throb of a broken heart, layering heartbeat over heartbeat until something vivid, wounded, and alive emerges. They sound like love extrapolated and pronounced in all its many ways. But they also sound like newborn pain, learning to walk before anyone can explain why it exists, let alone walking in the first place. Adding, what's most remarkable about this record, however, isn't simply the way the band manages to yield these big, beautiful songs. It's how they withhold us from big moments, too. Your New Place, the opener, is a marvel of this restraint and release as it reveals its story in reverse: a relationship, a death, a fall from the 34th floor that's hinted at in passing, then made unbearable in hindsight. Horns sigh beneath Midwest emo guitars, all while front person Sam Dubose sings like someone sifting through wreckage for a name. There's a rawness there that transcends the usual melodrama of emo or art rock. The romanticism isn't postured or manufactured. It's worn in and earnest, shaky, and deeply felt. So there's a little indication as to what the song is about. Reviewing the band's self-titled release, online music publication Medium would offer up the following. Oh gosh, where do I even begin? This album reminds me a lot of Ugly from the UK, and most specifically Black Country New Road. But does that mean they're a copy of those two bands? Absolutely not. When the first time I tried to listen to this album, I didn't expect that I will break my heart to pieces. It sounds like an exaggeration, but I promise you it's not. The album begins with the track called Your New Place, a 7+ minute song with amazing instruments and arrangement that managed to gain my attention until the end of the song. It's a song about a man who is missing someone he used to love and still does. How lucky I am to be a piece of your life. How lucky I am to be a piece of your smile. These lyrics perfectly capture the entire theme of the song and even the album itself. The opportunity to be able to be a part of in someone's life is one of the greatest things that people can be grateful for. As soon as the moments are gone, the act of longing and reminiscing of the old days are all that's left, and they probably won't happen again. And this really speaks to like what we talked about in growing old is getting old, where it's like the memory is the life after the death. It's how you keep someone alive when they're no longer on this earth. I think there's kind of shades of that here as well.
Yeah.
Well, here we are on top of it all, your hands in mine, my heart in yours, on top of it all. And you then remembered how you used to be one, so intimate and safe with each other. But now you've lost your home. You still keep their pictures and everything you did with that person, wishing for them to return and do it all over again, but you couldn't. And the only thing you could do is yearn. They would conclude the article noting, all in all, this perfectly summarized the meaning of loss and memories of love. The writings and the instruments are a match made in heaven. Every part enables me to imagine how it really feels to be there, and is something that I will seek when I'm listening. That I seek when I'm listening to an album. When it touches your soul, you know it's a good album, and this is it. This album is brilliant, and I have found myself coming back to it throughout 2025, and perhaps will continue to do so eternally. So yeah, this is obviously I don't think we're alone in surmising that this is a song with a lot of emotional heft, a lot of deep universal feelings that we all get to at some point in our life, whether it is just a breakup, you know what I mean, which can be monumental. I don't want to downplay that, but it held up against the other ways you lose somebody in life when it's something more finite like death. Then it can weigh even more on you. And this is a great way to kind of like help suss out those feelings, know that you aren't alone in the universe and feeling these things, and it can kind of see you through whatever dark, but temporary spot you're in. So, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it as much as you did, John.
Yeah, this is great.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Glad you liked it. Well, there you have it, guys. I certainly will bring more to the channel from this band. So, John, just hold your horses. If you could forget about even owning it for over a year, I think you can, or for about a year, I think you could hold out a little bit longer while I suss out some more songs we could bring to the channel. But yeah, please out there, guys, let us know what you think of Racing Mount Pleasant and Your New Place. There's another track called Your Old Place, I believe, which may be something of interest for you, John, or maybe anyone out there who enjoyed this. But please feel free to shout out other stuff, even if it's from when they were Kingfisher. Like it would be really interesting to bring some of that to the channel. They've only put out so much, so I'm pretty familiar with their stuff. But John is keen to it, clearly, at least having listened to this one song. So I'm sure he'd be open to checking out some of their other materials as well. Also, please like, share, and or subscribe if you haven't done any or all of that. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully, John and I will catch all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audio Files. We will see you later, guys.